That was slightly scary as well.
It's so sultry this morning, Paul. It's so sultry. Warm, humid. Why? Why, Paul? Why?
I think you're going through the menopause.
No, I'm not. I've been through that already.
Have you?
I've had that one.
Oh, right, okay.
I used to have hot flushes every morning at work.
Did you?
For about 5 years.
I used to have hot showers before I went to work.
Yeah, well, so did I, but, you know, yes,
but you're very dressed up today.
Well, I just thought I'd wear something lovely.
He's got his jeans on, his nice jeans.
Tight jeans.
They are tight, yes.
Oh, I like them. They support my legs.
And your giblets.
You can't say that, Paul.
Well, it's true.
Disgusting.
It's true.
Dirty. Keep it in. Welcome, bloody welcome to
Sunday Chat.
Yes, and it's a hot and sultry one today. It's September, but it's humid. It's humid, Paul.
Humid.
Especially when you're doing things around the house. I got a right sweat on yesterday, I tell ya. I did. No, I've been very busy. Very, very busy. But anyway, welcome to new subscribers, new people. Join us.
And new people like very young babies.
What?
Is that new people?
No, Paul, new people joining us.
Oh.
Joining our little happy family.
When
our
you
happy
said
family.
new subscribers.
Oh, shut up.
So new subscribers.
Shut
I thought
up.
when you said new subscribers and new people, it was like little
Quiet,
babies.
lest you lose your tongue. Sounds like a royal thing, that, isn't it? It's like that's probably what Henry VIII would have said to his chattering wives.
Yes, he most probably did, didn't he? Lest you lose your head.
Lest you lose your head.
Yeah.
Let's get on with the show.
How many wives did he behead? It was only 2, wasn't it? Was it 2?
I can't quite remember, but it wasn't all of them.
He divorced some, didn't he? And
yeah, he wasn't very nice.
Well,
he was nice as a young man.
Yes,
apparently.
Yes, apparently.
Gorgeous, strapping,
but
athletic.
Also a good king, and then he went a bit mad.
Well, I think he was a bit ill.
Didn't he get syphilis?
Well, I think if one is ill, one gets rather grumpy and decides to behead one's partner. So watch out. So, welcome to new followers on Instagram, Facebook, new members on Planet Vegetaria. That's Planet Vegetaria, a Facebook group by Richard and Paul. Richard and Paul since 2017. That's contractual.
We're almost at 1,000 now, aren't we?
Richard and Paul's Weather Report. Richard and Paul's Weather Report. So, Paul, what's the weather been like this week?
It's been hot and sunny and grey and rainy and mixed.
Yeah, we got up to I noticed the temperature thing on the wall in the other room, Paul. It's not in here.
Well, you were pointing.
Yeah, because it's there, through the wall.
Oh, yeah, I use my X-ray vision to see it. We've got 2. We've got a digital one and we've got a what's that
barometer.
Called? Barometer that Dad had.
So you have to tap.
Yeah.
I love doing that. Reminds me of my grandma, my dad's mum. She had a barometer on the wall and we would tap it.
You'd always tap it because it would be, you always wanted that little bit of accuracy, so you just give it 3 taps and the what do you call it, the hand would just shift a little bit.
The needle.
The needle. Yeah, the needle.
So
that was a needle.
I don't know what to say to that, Paul. You've just injected me.
Yeah, well there we are. For a long time. Yeah.
Stop now! Silence. Silencio. Silentio. Cho. Blah, blah, blah.
So it's grey today.
It is, but it was really, really hot. I mean, it got up to 33 degrees on that
Did it?
doodah, yeah,
Oh, wow.
outside in the sun. It was around 28 in the shade, couple of days in a row, which was actually okay because you know the heat will go at the end of the day.
Well, they said it was short.
One of the days it was warm into the evening.
Yeah.
And we've been left with this sultry humidity, which makes it impossible to do any task
Without dripping.
Sweating. So it's grey, overcast, a little bit of light rain, and occasional sunny intervals.
Have there been any today?
It tried to break through earlier.
Oh, right.
Just slightly.
I'm quite happy for the rain because we had quite a lot of rain the day before yesterday. Wednesday, we had quite a lot of rain Wednesday evening.
Was it? Oh, in the evening. That's it, Paul.
And then also very early Thursday morning, like about 1, 2 o'clock, there was a huge downpour for us then. And that's good because it actually did get into the ground.
Oh,
so this little bit of rain that we're having is great. It means that I'll be able to not water as much. Certainly the brassicas, the beans do continue to need watering though. But yeah.
Good. And that concludes the weather report for this week.
What's the weather going to be going forward? We don't know.
I think it's going to be overcast and slightly wet.
Yeah, I think there's a bit more rain due over the weekend. So
lovely. And next I'd like to say a very happy birthday to my dad, who has just turned 80.
80!
And we will see him later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yay!
Lovely. So, what's been happening, Paul? What has been happening this week? Let's have a look at the list.
A look at the list.
It's time to look at the list. That's a new segment.
That's a new segment. Oh dear, your feet are very soft.
Oh God, it's because I grated them the other day.
Yeah, grated and creamed. Yeah.
I didn't cream them.
Didn't you?
No, I just grated them.
I need to cream mine once I grated them.
Yes, yours are. Oh God. It's like a piece of hard plastic, Paul.
Well, we're going to have pasta later.
No. Don't ever. No. I'm never eating parmesan again. Stop. Just stop now. Oh God, you've made me really glow now, and God. Move on.
Oh dear. Ooh, sounded quite butch.
Right, next in the list.
Look at the list.
I've stopped gagging now. Let's look at the list. So, our Abba obsession continues.
Yeah.
The song is burned in my brain. I cannot turn it off. I'm thinking of seeking help.
I love them both.
Yeah, we've said that already last week. So, yeah, that's lovely. And the good news is we are going to see the show.
We are.
Yeah, we're going next year.
Yay!
Thanks very much to my sister who sorted out the tickets.
Yeah, brilliant.
Absolutely brilliant. Can't wait. So excited. It's been described as a magical space circus. That's one of the producer's words. A magical space circus.
Was he on drugs?
Well, no. Don't think so. Abba and drugs?
No, they don't go together, no.
Well, I don't know about going together in terms of enjoying the experience, but yeah, that's what it's been described as. Can't wait. I'm thinking of doing, and this is a question, I'm thinking of doing a separate video all about why I love Abba.
Oh, I think you should do that.
Well, I'm not asking you, Paul.
Oh, right.
I'm
okay.
asking the viewers. Is that something you'd be interested in watching? If so, tell me in the comments below. So yes,
you caught me doing something you didn't like this week though, didn't you?
I caught you listening to some crappy remix of Don't Shut Me Down that was speeded up and had a big doom, 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 4/4 beat added to it. It was absolutely awful. That was just an abomination, Paul. It really was. I don't ever want to hear that again in the house. Thank you very much. I'm a purist when it comes to Abba. The song takes you on a journey. Songs are weird things if you really think about it. You sit for 3 or 4 minutes and you get taken on a little journey that has a beginning, a middle, and an end. If you really think about it, that's quite odd.
But that's the same as everything.
It's quite odd. It's quite a strange little thing, a song. It's like a little world, a little story in its own little world that only exists when you press that play button.
But that's the same as lots of things.
But I'm not talking about lots of things. I'm talking about songs, Paul.
I mean,
isn't it?
When you look at films and...
Yeah, but
no.
No.
That's the whole... The 19.
That's the whole thing. It's not a film. It's not something you're watching. You're listening, and therefore your brain is creating that little picture for you, and your experience in your head of that song is unique to you. It's like when you read a book. It's more akin to a book, really, or a story that you read, albeit a book, whether it is a book, I mean, or a magazine and other printed materials.
I remember...
Do you know what I'm saying?
I do know what you're saying because I understand English, so I heard what you were saying and it went into my head and I understood it. I remember was it 6-word sad story that somebody wrote. Girls' shoes size 2 never worn. And it was a sad story, and I heard that many years ago, and I've
Why
always
is it a sad story? They might have bought them and they didn't fit.
No, I mean, it was a sad story competition, a short story, sad story competition.
How many words?
6.
I have to live with Paul. There we are, that's a sad story. Okay. Yeah, whatever.
You don't have to.
It's all in your experience of it, isn't it?
You've got a car you can live in now.
You make it. Make it what you want it to be.
Totally. It's interesting because I've started writing a Guernsey gardener in London for the first bit that I'm going to do. In fact, I've fully written it.
Oh, good.
But I'm going through and sort of changing elements of it.
Is it getting lighter in here? It is, isn't it?
Is it?
That bloody sun's going to come out and ruin my filming.
What, like interrupting me?
No, it's going to make it too bright.
Storytelling.
I'm going to become totally bleached out, which isn't a bad thing.
Well, no.
Look at the screen,
You need a little
Paul.
bit more of a tan.
Look at the screen.
It does look bright, the screen, because we can see the screen, you see, that it flips out.
I'm going to have to... Oh no, it's okay, I think. I think it's okay.
Right.
If the sun comes out, we'll have to stop and recalibrate.
We can have an Annie moment.
A what?
An Annie moment.
What does that mean?
Annie, the musical, Annie.
Alexa, stop. Alexa, set an alarm for 15 minutes.
15 minutes, starting now.
Thank you so much.
Do we have to get approval from her to be on screen?
What?
Her voice.
Oh God, no.
No.
No. She's talked before on Sunday Chat.
Sunday Chat!
After all, she's part of the family. Alexa, you're part of the family.
Thanks. I'm feeling the love.
Oh, she's feeling the love.
You see?
She also whispers now, doesn't she?
Oh, yeah. Our friends that we saw when we went down to Dungeness. Look, I'm sweating. I'm absolutely sweating.
I'm not.
It's so warm.
I'm not.
Yeah, but you haven't got all this gorgeous thick hair on your head, Paul.
No, I don't.
No, yours is sort of thin and straggly. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, our friends told us that she whispers. So if you...
She? Who's she? The
Alexa.
dog's mother?
It's the cat's mother.
Is it the cat's mother?
Yeah. Oh, God. Yeah, if you whisper, she can go into like a whisper mode. So you can ask the time in the morning without waking your partner.
I did that the other day, actually. I did do that, and you didn't wake up.
No, good.
Yeah, but she didn't hear me, and she didn't answer. So.
No, because you're the other side of the room.
Yeah.
And you've not learned how to project your voice.
No.
Anyway, let's move on.
Move on.
So you wanted to mention Mum, for those of you who'd like an update on Mum.
Yes. So Mum had a fall on the patio a couple of weeks ago, two Sundays ago. And she was okay, but she did fall backwards. She was pulling an arum lily leaf out. And then she had another little fall later, which I think were sort of connected. That was inside. And what Mum has decided, which is good that she's making these decisions, is that it's time for her to start thinking about going into a care home. So that when I heard that was sort of like, great that Mum is making those decisions and thinking those thoughts and processing that, but it's also that sort of little bit of sadness of another chapter in life, another page turning and another chapter beginning. So she's looking at what she's got in the apartment, and has my brother and his wife have helped Mum sort of whittle down the crockery that she's got, and there's various other things that she sort of said, well, I don't need that anymore, and that can go to the charity shop, and that type of thing. So that's really good. So even though it's a hard decision, it's great that Mum is processing that and beginning to think that way. And she had the doctor down the other day because in Guernsey the doctors need to authorise that process to begin. So it's that process is beginning. She did say, well, where will you stay, when you come over? And I went, well, there are hotels, Mum, and bed and breakfasts and Airbnb and all of that. So yeah, but it's interesting because it does feel like that, another chapter beginning, which I suppose it is,
Well, yeah, and I think it's interesting, isn't it? Because I think the minute that people say the word care home, for a lot of people, it has really negative connotations.
Yeah.
But I've got quite a lot of experience in liaising with people who work in care homes, talking to people who live in assisted living or care homes, or and actually for a lot of people it's a really positive experience, and very often one that they really enjoy. Because there are a lot of very good care homes with a lot of very dedicated staff.
Yeah.
Who give the people who live there a really great experience. Yes, it can be challenging occasionally. And yeah, it's a lot of hard work that goes on in care homes. So, it isn't easy to make it good, because a lot of work goes into it, but it can be a really positive thing. And knowing your mum, I mean, your mum likes her private time, but she also likes to socialise and talk with people. So she's making this decision herself. I think it's a great decision for her. And I part of me thinks she's really going to enjoy it once she's settled in.
Yeah.
So I think it's really positive.
And because of where she lives, she knows several people who've moved into care homes from where she is, and has visited them previously, not in the last sort of couple of years. And she knows that they have enjoyed the time.
Yeah.
And I think also Guernsey, it's a 65,000 population, Guernsey, and I think within that is a lot of knowledge that goes around about whether things are good or not, if you see what I mean.
Yeah.
And I think that smaller community ensures that levels of service and that type of thing are kept up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I think when we get too big as a population, that's when,
Well, there's been a lot of bad press.
Yeah. There's been a lot of bad instances.
Yeah.
That's why.
Well, that's what I was about to say, due to the fact that a lot of things have gone on in care homes in the past, I don't know how many
decades,
years, but, and there are meant to be safeguards in place in Britain, but, occasionally nowadays things do slip through the net, and things do happen, that are very often no fault of the people that work there, but things do happen occasionally that can just give that impression that care homes aren't great. But I know many that are run extremely well with great staff, dedicated staff who've been there for years, actually. I know quite a few.
And happy residents.
And some great managers as well who work very hard to ensure that those safeguards are, maintained and the quality is maintained. So anyway, let's move on.
Yeah.
It's all good. It's all good. We saw an old friend, didn't we?
Yes, we saw a friend that we haven't seen for many a year. For me, it's 10 years. For you, it's 16 years. And I was just sitting here on two nights ago, and I got an email from this friend who I used to share a flat with in Primrose Hill. When she and I lived in Primrose Hill, we shared a flat. We had David Bailey living next door with, what was his wife? Mary Helvin. We spent, I think about a year and a half we were living together, and then things happen and you move on, and she sent me an email because she knew we lived in Hanwell, and she said, we're looking for a house in West Ealing, and I know how much you like Hanwell. Are you still in Hanwell? And I just went back saying, yes, we are, lovely to hear from you, blah, blah, blah. And she said, well, I'm there tomorrow. Do you want to meet up? And we did. And it was lovely, absolutely lovely. And she brought us some fantastic yellow roses that are sitting over there.
Beautiful. And
we met down by the allotment. She had something to eat at the Fox pub, and we both had a drink and chatted, had a walk around the area. Then she came here, and the house is upside down at the moment because of Richard decorating, but she saw the house, which she loved. They'd love to have an extra room on the second floor because we've only got 2, and they'd love to have 3. But it looks as though they're going to be moving to this area, and they've seen a few houses in the area that they haven't quite liked. But it was just lovely, and the gorgeous thing, knowing that she's double vaccinated, she works in healthcare. She's got a company called Essential Parenting, which is when I last saw her when she was starting that up 10 years ago, and it was lovely to have a hug from her, and you did as well when we came back here. But it's just that it's those friends that you haven't seen for ages and ages and ages, and you meet, and within moments that time has gone. There's no awkwardness, there's no challenge in, oh, why haven't we seen each other for so long? You know, it's just you pick up where you left off, and
that's the way it should be with all friends, you know.
Yeah.
I think people that judge you because you've maybe not been in touch, I think that's really rotten. You know, I really do. And it's happened to us a couple of times over the years, you know, where somebody has been quite judgmental, and you kind of turn around and say, well, it works both ways.
Yeah.
You know, and it doesn't really matter, you know. I think people maybe are insecure.
Possibly.
Sometimes that must be the root of that kind of thing.
Or selfish.
I've never judged anybody for not being in touch, because life happens. And, you know, you should just be able to get back in touch and pick up. That's it. You know, if you're really true friends, not everybody's like that, though, which I find very strange. So that was lovely.
Yeah.
Really lovely, and I'm sure we'll be seeing them again.
They're going to come
soon.
back and have lunch. We said,
Yeah.
look, when you're in the area viewing
Just
again, just come and have lunch.
Yeah.
You know, it'd be lovely to see you both. They've got a son as well. Yeah, you know, who is, you know, grown up. This up. That's what happens over time. People get older and they grow up.
Well, some people do, Paul.
Not all. Not
No.
all. No.
Some of us have got a painting in the attic.
There is a new one, you know. There's a new one.
For those of you who don't know what that reference is, it's a reference to the picture of Dorian Gray.
Do you remember
Look
that
it
one?
up.
We saw one. It had a couple of relatively big name actors in it, but I think the main character wasn't a big name actor, and it was really quite good. And there was lots of psychedelic things in it.
I've got an eyelash.
You've got an eyelash. He's got an eyelash. But yeah, that was an interesting one. I'm not sure. I love different editions of films.
It's really annoying me now.
Do you want to stop and take it out? Yeah.
No. I think I've got it, but I don't know where it's gone.
Well, maybe it's fallen.
Thank you for your patience. So, yes, we mentioned the house has been a bit upside down this week. I've been getting on with those jobs. Those jobs that need to be done. I decorated the utility room, that's now finished.
Lovely.
There's maybe a couple of things that I've still got to do.
Like
in
what?
there, well, the corner where I keep the bird seed. That's got to be done, because I've got 2 huge bags of bird seed, which I didn't think
they were that big.
I misread 2 kilograms. It was actually 20 kilograms. Anyway,
dear.
so I've got to move all that out and just paint that area there, but that's fine. That will take me 5 minutes rather than
Moving 20 kilograms, 2 bags of 20 kilos.
Alexa, stop. Was it 20 kilograms or was it... I can't remember.
I think it mostly was,
Doesn't matter, move on. I've got that bit to do, but it's just been so warm. I mean, yesterday I did do a very, very full day.
You did?
A very full day. Because I got to one point where I'd finished painting one of the walls and the ceiling in the kitchen. I thought, right, I've got to stop now because I really need to tidy and clean. because I hadn't done that for a week. So I then went into cleaning, which then took me a few hours, and I was sweating more. But you know what? It was a good day's work, good solid physical day of work. I did ache. In fact, my feet still ache today. So I was literally on my feet all day. But it feels good, and it feels good to be sort of getting those jobs done that need to be done. And also thinking it's probably the last time I'm going to do that in this house.
Yes, that's true.
You know, it's the last bit of
that's
decorating.
That's likely true, yeah.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's true. So.
And you're doing a line, aren't you? Because you hate doing corners, and you're putting a paint mark down. I'm not making sense, aren't I? Where you're taping the thing and you're putting a line halfway through the doorway.
We have an archway through to the kitchen, and it's got curved edges, so to do a line between green paint and white paint is virtually impossible. So I'm doing that line in the middle of the archway. Yeah. Genius. I'm using really good masking tape. It's the yellow masking tape, and you can get a really, really sharp, clean line. So I love doing things like that. That's one of my trademarks.
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
There we are.
There
we are.
Blocks of colour. I like that.
Actually, when our friend went up the stairs yesterday, the first thing she said is, "Oh, I love the different treads, colour of panels below the treads," didn't she?
That's interior design by Richard.
And Paul.
No. So that, I mean, it has been busy, and I'm just happy to be getting on with those things that need to be done. And it is almost like a sort of autumn clean and clear.
Yeah.
Clean and clear.
But you got to the point yesterday, didn't you, where you said, "I have to tidy this room," because it was
just getting too messy.
Yeah.
And also with all the sanding I've been doing, there was dust everywhere.
Only a little bit.
I saw the other ones before. I'm not completely blind, Paul. So yeah, it is. No, it seriously is good to be getting on with jobs. I was kind of choosing this time of year because I thought it was going to get cooler, but I thought it was going to stay in that cool period that we had at the end of August. Kind of thought it was going to stay, but I didn't reckon on it getting so humid and sticky. But anyway, that's all good. Good. Moving on.
I went to bed with Mary Ingalls last night, didn't I?
Who?
Mary Ingalls.
Mary?
Yeah, she was one, wasn't she? Didn't she have the plaits? Or did they all have plaits?
Paul is referring to the fact that I had a shower and washed my hair last night after doing a day's hard work, and I plaited my hair in bed.
He did.
I was also blind as well,
because
I have to wear an eye cream at night, and when I put the eye cream in, I can't see.
So he's like this.
So I said, "Ooh, it's like Little House on the Prairie, isn't it, Paul?"
It was.
I'm the blind one, plaiting my hair in bed. I think everybody plaited their hair at night. It keeps it.
In the old movies, you see them brushing their hair. Were you supposed to brush it 100 times?
And plait it?
I don't know.
Well, my mum used to want to do my sister's hair in rags.
Oh yeah.
To give it curl. I remember her doing that. But anyway, yes, that was fun, Paul. Thank you for telling everybody about our bedtime pursuits. It's very exciting.
And then he went to sleep and I read my book. Yeah.
I'm always asleep within a few minutes.
He is, yeah. Even if there's something
Paul!
happening. Yeah.
Silence! Finally, to finish today's show, what have we watched on television this week, Paul?
It's been a busy-ish week, actually.
Has it?
We've watched 2 old films. We watched The 39 Steps.
Oh, God, yeah.
1935 version, which had the Scottish guy that was in Dad's Army in it. And that was interesting because I think that is most probably a bit truer to the book.
It was quite rough.
It was quite rough, yeah. But it was, it's enjoyable, as I say.
But it's early. It's an early film, really.
Yeah, 1935,
yeah.
that's what I said.
So that's why it looked so old.
Yeah, because it was 1935. Yeah. And then we watched another old film, and one of my favourites, with Marlene Dietrich, Witness for the Prosecution. Agatha Christie's Witness for the Prosecution.
Yeah, it was good. I'd not seen it. I might have seen bits of it, but I'd not seen it before. So I'm not going to reveal what happens.
No.
We're not going to spoil it for anybody.
It's one of my favourite Agatha Christie's.
Marlene Dietrich, she was a bit melodramatic, wasn't she? But I guess she's supposed to be, isn't she?
Yeah.
Yes.
And what's her line in that? That's her line, though.
But you've just given it away.
Oh, yeah, no, better take that out.
We're going to have to cut that.
Yeah, or not, yeah.
We've just had to cut a bit because we realised that Paul gave away the plot. It's getting dark.
It's getting dark, yeah.
It's dark.
But yeah, I love Witness.
It really is getting dark.
And again, I think that was a 1940s, 1950s one, something like that.
It's going to rain, Paul. It's going to rain.
It's not, what is it? What am I thinking of? Gone with the Wind. Gone with the Wind. No, that's what I'm thinking of now.
Why?
Because you sounded a bit like tear down those curtains.
Tear down those curtains. Mammy, tear down the curtains and make me a dress. What else? Come on. Annika, great. Loving it. Nicola Walker, Sue, bloody perb.
We also watched When Ruby Meets.
Yes.
Which is Ruby Wax now looking back on herself and the interviews that she did.
Surely it's When Ruby Met.
When Ruby Met. What did I say? When Ruby Met. Anyway, it's her looking back at herself and the interviews that she did in the sort of 90s, late 90s and early 2000s.
And analysing it from a perspective of being a doctor.
Yes.
Or whatever she is now. She's a mental health specialist, isn't she?
Yes, absolutely.
Who has gone, she went to Oxford and studied the brain and how it works. And she's kind of analysing herself. She also brought her daughters in to watch stuff as well. So really, really interesting retrospective on her body of work.
And we've actually watched it over the last, I think it's 3 episodes, maybe. Yeah. And we've watched it over the last couple of weeks and we haven't mentioned it, but we have been watching it and really enjoying it.
Yeah, really good. So she's one of my favourites, Ruby Wax. I think she's... she's just so clever, always has been, but I think she went through a period where she felt she was out of control.
Well, that's what she says. Yeah. I was out of control.
But it made great TV.
And it's interesting, she, in the interviews with Donald Trump and Cosby?
Bill Cosby.
Those are particularly interesting. I think
and
that was the
O.J.
first,
Simpson.
And O.J. Simpson as well.
Yeah,
really
great. We started Vigil.
We've started Vigil.
Yes.
Which is...
Actually really enjoying it.
Yeah, apparently it's the most watched drama on BBC TV this year.
I don't like the bits... the watery bits.
No, but you don't like... He doesn't like sort of boats in harbours, the hulls and things like that. He doesn't like things like that.
Oh, no.
So,
metal underwater.
It was quite a...
Dark water where you can't see what's under the water.
It was quite a different start to how I expected as well. It starts on a fishing boat and we won't go into any more. But it's really interesting. So it's set on a British nuclear submarine where a death has occurred. And we won't go into it, but it is very, very good. I'm still not convinced that... those submarines look pretty big. Are they pretty big? They said. Did he say it's as long as a football pitch or something?
I think they are quite big.
And it feels as though.
Is it a set, or was it filmed on a?
I would have thought it's a set.
Yeah.
Because I think it would be. It is raining. I think it would be very difficult to film. I mean, I don't know. But I mean, certainly, you know, at Gillette Studios, you'd be able to get that in there. I mean, you know, it'd be huge, but you'd be able to get that.
So that's good. Saran Jones playing the lead role, who is again a great actor, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, I think we'll see after another couple of weeks. We'll see, but I think I know.
Of course, we've watched our usual programmes as well. Countdown, which is interesting because Friday's episode, which is today...
For us.
It's
2 days ago for you.
I think they know the days of the week. Is the Black to Front, part of the Black to Front season on Channel 4.
Today, isn't it?
Which is... Yeah, today. Well, it is a season in itself, isn't it?
It's quite heavy, that rain now.
Yeah. Just thinking, are there any windows open? Where basically black performers are taking over regular programmes.
Black people, presenters and performers.
Well, they're performers because they're on TV, baby.
Right, okay, yeah.
Really? And Trevor McDonald is going to be taking over from Anne Robinson, and there's 2 other people taking over the other posts of Susie Dent and Rachel Riley. Not Wallace. Why did I say Wallace? We haven't seen it yet, so we're looking forward to that. There's been a mixed reaction to this Black to Front season. Some black performers have said it's tokenism. You know, there's been various opinions expressed. I don't know how I feel about it. I think it just should be the way anyway.
Absolutely. I mean, it should be.
But if it does bring lesser known black performers into the fore, then that is a good thing for them.
And also, if it increases diversity across the board, which is good for all of us, that is hugely beneficial.
So I think it's positive anyway. Do I think it's tokenism? I think TV companies are quite good at making things appear as though they're tokenism sometimes. You know, I think they can be... What's the word? I think sometimes things like this aren't handled very well by certain people in certain positions. In television. Let's just say that. I don't think the message is always that clear.
No, I don't think it is, but I think it's a good thing, and I look forward to the day that we don't need it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's really calming down.
It is.
The water is pouring.
It is.
It's suddenly come down. Oh, wow.
I was just thinking of Vigil. At the moment, there's only one person, there's only one black person in that, isn't there? And that's on the naval side, the senior woman that's overseeing. Are there any other...
The captain is black.
Oh, the captain's black as well, yeah. Yeah, got that wrong.
Anyhow, that's it. I think we need to batten down the hatches, Paul.
Yeah.
I think we're going down.
Oh, Alexa, stop.
So, I'll go calm now. Nice and gentle. Because we like it nice and gentle. But sometimes we like it nice and rough. And it's rough out there now. Look, Paul. Paul, look.
It is chucking it down.
The water is pouring down the broken gutter.
Yeah, another thing we need to mend. Yeah.
Right, that's it.
It's getting even heavier.
Yeah, I'm frightened now. I'm frightened, Paul. I am.
I must say, there are moments where sort of living sort of on a hill, I do sort of feel happy about that.
Anyway, bye for now. Take care. Au revoir. And other words.
Oh yes, you're learning Swedish, aren't you?
Well, learning is a big word. I'm having a look at the Swedish language because I've always loved it, like the sound of it. Yes.
Was that since the Muppets?
Yeah.
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 We'll talk about that next week.
Bye for now. Take care. Thank you for watching. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Hope you enjoyed it. Come again.